Hello and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having an amazing morning, afternoon, evening so far. Today I'm going to be talking about how you can make your habits stick. So firstly, you really need to be reasonable. You need to not suddenly pick habits that are just not attainable. For example, saying, okay, I usually wake up at about 8, 9, 10 a.m. and then suddenly say, okay, tomorrow I'm going to wake up at 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. and I'm going to do that from now on till forever. That's really not attainable. It's not realistic. Firstly, it's not attainable for you to suddenly wake up so many hours before you usually do. It's not good for your circadian rhythm. If you want to wake up earlier, then you need to do it in 1 hour chunks. Similar with saying, oh, today I'm going to wake up and I'm going to run 3 miles and I'm going to do that every day. Or I'm going to completely cut out all sugars. It's not realistic. Some of these things you can get to. Certainly you can wake up at 5 a.m. You can run 3 miles in a day if that's something that will add value to your life. But can you just suddenly wake up and do that? No, and you certainly won't be able to keep that as a consistent habit because it's quite unrealistic to just jump into that. So you really need to just start smaller. You don't want to shock your body. Waking up at 5 a.m. when you used to waking up at 10 a.m. it's a shock and you're going to feel really tired throughout the day. So what you need to do is that you need to do this really slowly, and it's the same with running. Do some light jogging in the morning, build it up. Don't suddenly jump into 3 miles when you're not used to running at all. Or if you're used to jogging, suddenly saying, yeah, I'm going to do a marathon. It's not realistic. It might be something you want to do, which is great to have that goal, but you can't just suddenly jump into it. It takes time and it takes practice. And again, with all of these things, do your research. Find out what you think is going to be best for your body. And this kind of goes in hand with doing too many things. So you might want to go running, read lots of books, study for hours in the day, go to the gym for hours, but there's too much. You will sort of feel overwhelmed by doing too many of these things at once that you're probably not going to be able to put the time and the value that's needed into each one of these things, because you're going from a place of not really doing many of these things, if not really having many good and healthy habits at all, to then suddenly having all of these things all at once and putting pressure on yourself to fulfill them all, which again is quite unrealistic to set for yourself. So the next thing I've taken from Atomic Habits, which has really been the influence of this video, because for me personally, I genuinely loved this book. I found so much value and information and just motivation to start creating habits from reading this book. And I'm so grateful for my mom who bought it for me for Christmas. I read it in, I think, 2 or 3 days, which is quite fast for me. And yeah, I genuinely absolutely loved it. So one thing that I learned from this was how you can change your mindset through the use of language and words. So the main thing that I found was how the author described changing even just the smallest words. So if you say, I have to go to the gym today, I have to go for a walk, I have to study today, and that it gives a challenge to it. It puts it in a bit more of a negative light, like I have to do it. It's not really saying I want to do it or I'd like to do it, it's just something I have to do. And it feels like a little bit of a burden, whereas you change I have to I get. That suddenly puts it in far more of a positive light. I get to go for a walk, I get to study, I get to go to the gym, then you take that, it's a challenge, it's a burden away from it, and yeah, it's a positive thing. I get to study, I have the ability to study. It makes it exciting almost, and a little bit fun as well. I get to go to a walk, then suddenly you think of all the positive things to do with going for a walk. Again, if you say I have to, then it's a challenge. You think about, the walk to go to the gym or the drive to go to the gym. You think, the weather outside isn't great. You think about just all the negative things, whereas just changing that small word, it really makes a big difference to your mindset, and psychologically it does have an effect on you. So I will now talk about how I personally made my habits stick. So I did this through an accountability tracker. So what I did is I used a shared Google Doc, and what I did is I picked 3 key things that I wanted to have as a habit and have them stick. So I had meditation, journaling, and reading. And I said I want to do these things every day. So I set a minimum of 5 minutes for meditation, at least 1 page of reading of a book, and at least 1 page of writing in my journal. And through this method of this Google Doc, I have stuck with it since the 1st of January, and it's now the 22nd of March. So I think I've done pretty well with that so far. So I think there was 2 things here that really helped me stick with these habits and make sure that they got completed. And I think the first one was the psychological, satisfaction that you get from putting an X in the box from kind of ticking off your habit for that day. So I'd have meditation, journaling, reading at the top, then I'd have the days by the side, and I will put up an example here of what it looked like. And then I put an X into each box as I completed it. And again, this is in Atomic Habits. Seeing this line of X's and ticks, it has this psychological effect of you not wanting to break that streak. And for me, yeah, that really works. I did not want to break this streak. I had all these lovely X's in the boxes and I didn't want to break that. The other thing was that it was an accountability habit tracker. So the accountability part was it being shared with my boyfriend. So he also had his own section on the Google Doc with his 3 things that he picked. And we could see each other's progress. So he could see if I didn't put a cross in the box, I could see if he hadn't done the same. And we also later down the line added an extra consequence that if one of us hadn't put in all of the X's in that we needed to by each Sunday, then we'd have to transfer £5 to the other person. And that definitely upped the stakes, I think, of making sure that we completed our habit trackers. This video is really inspired and influenced by Atomic Habits, so here's a few more things that I have learned and that I've also implemented that may help you as well. So one of the things is the 2-minute rule, and the 2-minute rule means picking your habit and doing it for 2 minutes. So for me, I think that really works with things like reading. So if I was to set a timer for 2 minutes and read, I would get to those 2 minutes and I'd probably be quite enraptured, I guess, in the book, and I'd want to carry on. I wouldn't just want to quit at those 2 minutes. So with these types of things, it's you get into it so far as you kind of think, oh well, I've already got my gym gear on, I'm already prepared and ready, so I might as well carry on with it, or I may as well do a little bit more, stretch a little bit further than what I originally planned to do. So I think with the 2-minute rule, it can be really helpful with prolonging those habits. Another great thing to do is to reflect and review your habits. So that can be at the end of the week, that can be at the end of the month, which is personally what I have done. I have looked and seen, is this serving me? Is it challenging me? Is there anything that I can change here that can better suit me and my lifestyle? Maybe even this habit, I don't see any progress from it. Maybe I should swap it out and put something else in there which I think would better serve me and my time. And the last thing is having a motivation ritual. So this is something like what was said in the book, is using headphones before, for example, working out. So if you make a point to, before you start doing workout, put in your earphones, put on your headphones, then this has like a psychological effect where it gets you in the mode, in just that headspace to start doing that habit. And if you keep doing that over time, then as soon as you put those things on, you maybe put your gym clothes on, you put those headphones on, you are ready to go, and your mindset is switched like that. And yeah, you can definitely see probably the benefits of that. You get focused, you're tuned in. So that's another thing that can probably really help with sticking with your habits. So that is the end of the video. Thank you so much if you've watched this far. Again, a lot of these things were inspired by Atomic Habits. It's an amazing book. If you haven't read it, go check it out. It has certainly changed my 2023 so far. But yeah, anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.